A cordial welcome. Welcome to the Loxone Product Conference 2024. A cordial welcome here to the epicenter of intelligent building automation. A cordial welcome here to the auditorium of the beautiful Loxone campus. This time, I'd like to welcome all those partners present in the room. Thank you very much for following our invitation. And at the same time, I'd also like to welcome more than 1,000 partners who are connected online in our subsidiaries and who are attending this product conferences virtually. And we have a live stream to all our global subsidiaries, and this fireworks of innovations will be presented here today. Talking about building automation, what we understand by that is a holistic building automation. What's essential for us is that it is not only individual components or functions or features, but that everything is covered, starting with the mini server, and everything is integrated in building automation, starting from access, the right audio solutions, lighting solutions, shading, air conditioning, energy, and security. We are living in a time that is characterized by crises, be it Corona or the various austerity packages of governments. Well, people react a lot. These short-term crises that we're all familiar with, almost every month there's a new crisis, so people react to these crises. What we're trying to do is to keep developing in a very straight line. We are focusing on megatrends. Megatrends are forces that have an influence on our lives, on our planet. And this is why we're going to devote ourselves to three of these global megatrends, and these three megatrends will be addressed by product innovations. At this point, I would now like to hand over the presentation to the man who is in charge of all product innovations in our company, Andreas Hetzendorfer, the Chief Product Officer. Thank you, Rüdiger. There are three megatrends. Let's start with the first topic, energy. We have not only started talking about energy 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Russia invaded Ukraine, the energy prices went up. So it's incredible what happened in terms of energy management and the energy transition. But Loxone started way back. In 2013, the Energy Monitor, back then there was a strong cooperation with Fronius. So Loxone was probably the first system that visualized a PV system. And on the slide behind me, you see a Kiva wall box that followed in 2015. And back then, we could also provide free of charge software for this charging. Then came BMW i3, and we were there as one of the cooperation partners with BMW with the wall box. 2 years back, or 2.5 years back, in October of 2021, we had the release 13.1, which was a new milestone in terms of energy management. We had meter components, the energy flow, and energy management here at Loxone in particular was raised to a completely new level. And today it is about time to take one further step and to look at the next problem and give a big round of applause to Tobias Hess, our product manager, energy. Hello. A cordial welcome also from me. Thank you, Andreas, for the kind introduction. Energy. What does energy mean? Energy is the elixir of life of all our buildings. It accounts for 44% of the global energy demand. The bad thing about this is that more than half of that energy is wasted. We and our planet, we can simply not afford that. Well, I think that's worth a round of applause. We at Loxone are convinced that energy management should be a standard for every building. It should be simple, transparent, and sustainable. Many of you are successful Loxone partners, and you're familiar with energy management here at Loxone. Some of you know the three-step plan of Loxone when it comes to energy management. I would like to briefly talk about this. Step one is the foundation for every energy management activity. You cannot optimize things you don't know. So the first point is you need to know about your consumption. That's the energy flow monitor that was launched in 2022. Step two is lowering the baseload. If you know the consumption, you look at the curve, and then you can think about how much does this building use when there's nobody there. Every single watt that is used every day, be it devices on standby mode, costs about €3. Well, this doesn't sound like a lot, but it all adds up. I don't know whether you've looked at this at night when there's nobody in the building. What is the base load? And we need to lower that base load, be it through presence monitoring or by optimizing temperature values or ventilation values. Item three, or step three, temporal optimization, be it by connecting dynamic hourly power rates, that's the spot price optimizer, or shifting, for example, water heating to times when energy is cheaper during the day, as you can see in this case. We from Loxone invest about 85% of our time in our extremely powerful and comprehensive software. And we will only launch a product if it's really needed. And we've had an exchange with many of you, and this has led to significant savings thanks to our energy management solutions. This has demonstrated that there is still a need for our products out there. This is why I'm very pleased to be able to introduce two new products in our tree product family. The Loxone energy meter. That's the meters that can be easily integrated. Let's take a closer look. There are two versions, the single-phase and the three-phase energy meter. Both are extremely simple and can be connected via tree, and they can be connected by plug and play. So the one-phase and three-phase energy meters can be used up to 100 amps. They are MID certified, which is ideal also for invoicing and invoice settlement. And like every Loxone product, they are seamlessly integrated in the Loxone software world, in this case in our meter block. Plug and play. We often hear it, you often read it, and I think we should really talk about this. Those of you who have ever tried another energy meter from another supplier and you try to connect it via Modbus or another protocol, well, one meter is easy to connect, but as soon as you have several energy meters, you have a problem to adjust an address with one single key. And if it's badly mounted, badly rotated, then it's going to get really difficult, bad signs. And the foundation that the energy management solution is based on will be cracking and crumbling. Now, with our meters in the tree search, you can find them, teach them, take them to the program sheet, store them, and that's done. The right values, the right signs, stable, reliable data that is provided for your energy management solutions. Now, let me give you an overview. What else can we say about our energy meter tree? It's MID certified, which means that the box is sealed up to 100 amps. And if you need more than just the outlet of our meters, you get the full function, more than 34 additional sensors that are the perfect solution for every individual use case without having to enter any register addresses. Another really important point, it sounds easy and it makes your lives a lot easier, is the cabling direction is always given in our meters. So it goes, the feed in comes from above and the users come from below. So sometimes it's the other way around. So either you can go around with the cable or then make the corrections in the configuration, but not for our products. Here, a simple check mark in the software and you can adapt the direction of rotation. So these are the meters that can be most easily integrated in the market. Now, the next point. Some of you may wonder how much will it cost us and when is it available? And I'm glad to announce that the one-phase meter will only cost 79 euros. Thank you. And the three-phase meter will be available as of 199 euros only. Now, the next question is, when will this wonderful product be available for ordering? It's available now. I already said it at the beginning. Loxone is about software to 85%. Only 15% is about products. When it comes to energy management and energy solutions, I would like to go one step further and say that it's maybe 5% products and 95% software. It's extremely powerful and free of charge software. Let's take a look at energy, this 5% hardware. Let's check it out. Here in the background, you see the power supply backup. So it's a simple, carefree power supply for any project. The wall box, the universal talent when it comes to charging electric vehicles. It's very flexible and can be used configured with different plug-in modules, and it's beautiful to look at. Smart socket air, the meter interface air, Embers extension. And as far as products are concerned, they're so powerful because of its software. Andreas has said it previously. Many years ago, we started with release 13.1. We now created a milestone in energy management. My colleague, Lukas Eigelsberger, will this morning talk in more detail about software release 15. And in the background, you already see the 95% that our energy management solution is composed of the spot price optimizer that is connected directly to the power exchange, and that allows you to react quickly to fluctuations in the energy price. The monitor visualizes so that you know where the consumption goes. The energy manager that ensures that if you have a production that it does not get lost due to very low feed-in tariffs, but that it can be put to good use. Then there's a wall box manager, a powerful combination here at the campus. If you plugged in your vehicle here, you see a lot of charging stations, and they're smart, intelligent, and efficiently operated. That is normally a very difficult task, but not with our solution. The wallbox manager and the wallbox components simply connect and it works. Now, let me go back to our energy meters. In the beginning, I told you that 44% of the energy consumption worldwide goes to buildings, and half of that energy is wasted. And by using our products with the smart energy solutions of Loxone and your know-how and your ambition as partners, we're convinced, and we know, based on other successful projects that some of you have implemented, that 30% of this energy can be saved. 30% energy savings. That's 4.9 billion tons of CO2 annually that can be saved. Great, right? Let me convert this. This corresponds to about 392 billion trees. That's about as many trees as you see in the Amazon rainforest. And well, for this task, our new energy meters offer the perfect foundation to base our sustainable energy management on. Thank you. Thank you, Toby. Well, in the past, when it came to meters, we tried our best to work with templates, library, Modbus, and at the end of the day, well, you know it better than I do, a product that is natively integrated via a tree that knows directly what it has to do, that knows it's a meter. Well, that's the most easily integrated meter in the world. So we heard that 44% of the global energy is used for buildings and 30% can be saved. It's a cool number, a great amount of energy that can be saved. So the world needs a lot of mini servers. The world needs Loxone to reach these goals. The mini servers are available. The mini servers are sold by you every day, commissioned, taken into operation. So this is a great thing. Big buildings are being built, like such as Loxone campus. Hotels are being built, and other chains are equipped with Loxone. So the next problem is, how are we going to administer and maintain all that? And now I'd like to introduce the next solution. Marcus will introduce the next solution. Marcus, the stage is yours.
Ja, schönen guten Morgen.
Good morning.
Danke, Andi.
Thank you, Andy.
Heute mit Ihnen über Software.
Today, I would like to talk to you about software and the second megatrend about connectivity.
Millionen von Menschen leben und
Millions of people are living and working in buildings that were automated with Loxone and that are smart and intelligent. But
wir vorhin schon gehört haben, die
as we've heard previously, the hardware alone is not so good without the software. Like the human body, without a brain and a nervous system, it will just be a piece of meat. So the same goes for hardware. The hardware portfolio has grown, but in the world of Loxone, we have Loxone Config and the Loxone app. These are the two pillars of our software that form the backbone of our system. On the one hand, with Loxone Config, we have an extremely powerful and easy to operate expert system that you can use to make buildings intelligent. On the other hand, with the Loxone app, we have a virtual multifunctional tool for the occupants and users of an intelligent building. But our vision takes us one step further. You as Loxone partners have certainly seen in the past that we're living in a day and age where electrical installations are not simply set up once, handed over, and that's it. The customers expect much more. They expect a full service.
Weiterentwicklungen und Verbesserungen
They always want to be informed and benefit from
wollen. Kurzum, so
improvements in
schnell es
technology.
funktioniert,
They want to have a smart home that works easily and gets better all the time without ifs and buts. So there are more and more projects that you need to look after.
und mit den
But the
Projekten
project's also growing,
die diese
and the
Projekte
teams are growing with these projects.
Team verteilen,
So you need to assign tasks in the team, and if you've ever done that before,
Herausforderung sein kann.
you know that can sometimes constitute a
Projekte aber
challenge.
nicht nur mehr
These
und
projects are
größer,
not only
die
increasing
steigen
in
auch die
size and
Erwartungen
number,
und die
but
Anforderungen werden
there's
komplexer.
also more
Vor
expectations
allem in
that are
gewerblichen
becoming increasingly complex, especially in commercial projects. You're faced with the challenge that you have documentation requirements.
optimieren müssen.
You
Genau
need to
wissen müssen,
optimize energy. You need to know exactly where the energy
das ist schon
flows.
im Smart Home ein
In the smart
Riesenhebel
home,
für
that's already a big
Kosteneinsparungen.
lever to save
Aber
costs.
denken wir jetzt an den
But
gewerblichen
let us
Bereich
now
mit
think about
Hunderten oder
the
gar
commercial
Tausenden
field with
Standorten.
hundreds or
Es
thousands of
gibt einen
locations.
extremen Hebel, hier
There's an
Kosten zu
extreme
reduzieren.
lever that
Sehen
helps
wir als
you
Beispiel
reduce costs.
McDonald's, das bereits
This is
mit Loxone
McDonald's, one
ausgestattet
example.
wurde
They
und
have
hier
already been
die
equipped with
Energie
Loxone,
optimiert wird auf diese Art und
and
Weise.
their energy is already
Kurzum,
optimized by
wir
Loxone.
haben jetzt neben
To
den
put it in a
Endbenutzern
nutshell,
eines Gebäudes, neben den
we don't
Bewohnern
only have the
und
occupants of
neben Ihnen,
buildings
den
and
Loxone-Partnern,
you, the
die
Loxone partners, the
Loxone-Systemeinrichter,
electricians who install the
weitere
system and set it
Zielgruppen
up.
in
There are
unserer
also
Softwarelandschaft.
other
Und
target
zwar
groups
all
in our
jene,
software
die
landscape,
sich in
namely all
Echtzeit
those
während der
who are
Lebenstzeit eines Gebäudes dieses
during
Gebäude kümmern müssen.
who are looking
Wir haben auf
after
der
this
einen
building
Seite
during the
hier
lifetime of the
Sie, die
building.
Loxone-Partner,
So there's
die
you, the
für
Loxone
Dauerpflege
partners
sorgen.
that
Wir haben
provide
Facility-Management-Teams,
service to
die
customers.
dafür
There's
sorgen, dass
facility
die
management
Gebäude
teams that make sure
dauerhaft
that
in Betrieb bleiben.
these buildings are
Und
kept in
zu
good
guter
shape.
Letzt dann
And
Investoren,
there's
Geschäftsführungen,
investors
die es
and
genau interessiert,
managers
wo Kosten
who want
entstehen,
to know
wie
where
Energienutzung
costs originate and how the energy use can be optimized.
Dazu haben wir heute in Gebäuden Hunderte oder gar Tausende
We have
Sensoren, die
hundreds or
diese Daten
even thousands
einsammeln.
of sensors that
Aber wenn
collect
Sie
this
diese
data.
Daten jetzt für das
But if
Business
this
verwerten
data
wollen,
is to be
haben
used
Sie
for
im Großen und
business,
Ganzen drei Möglichkeiten.
well, there's three
Entweder
options
Sie
to
haben
do
sich mit
that.
viel Zeitaufwand selbst
Either
eine Lösung gebaut,
you build your own
oder
solution,
Sie
which is
können
very
eine
time
Lösung
consuming,
einsetzen, die
or you
ausgelegt
can
ist,
use a
Ihr großen
solution
Kreislauf zu bedienen.
that comes from the last
Oder Sie
millennium
stehen vor
and
riesigen
is
Investitionssummen,
also
um sich hier
operated
die
accordingly,
preisliche Auflösung
or
anzuschaffen.
you're facing huge costs to
Das
come
heißt,
up with a
immer dann,
commercial
wenn auf
solution.
einzelnen
Now,
Miniservern
whenever
Miniserver
individual
verfügbar
mini
werden,
servers are
stehen wir vor
turned into
Herausforderungen.
fleets of
Und
mini
genau
servers,
diese
we are
lösen
faced
wir
with a
heute.
challenge, and these challenges are solved and addressed today.
Ich darf Ihnen heute Loxone Exosphere
Today,
präsentieren.
I would like to present Loxone Exosphere. This is the way we take building automation to a new level. Exosphere is very comprehensive. Let me first show you a use case that is most important to you as Loxone partners who are servicing and realizing and looking after a lot of projects. In particular, you are interested in how Loxone Exosphere can help you with that. Loxone Exosphere is your maintenance portal where you can look after more projects in a better way. In Exosphere, you see at one glance on a project map how the mini servers are doing in your project. You see immediately when something needs to be done and where. Your maintenance runs can be, for example, planned accordingly. So you collect the status centrally, you see immediately what's happening where, and you can confirm directly in the portal. You know the heart symbol that you know, and you know immediately where something's happening. Loxone regularly provides you with new releases of the software, and with every new release, there's improvements, new features, and your customers should benefit from these new features as quickly as possible. With exosphere, it becomes even easier to bring the mini-server to the next level. You see immediately which mini-servers are not up to date, and with a few clicks of a mouse, you can make sure that your customers will benefit of the new improvements. What's nice about exosphere is that you don't need to do this individually at the mini-server itself, but you can use a hierarchical, freely configurable system architecture that saves you a lot of work. You can make adjustments on the updates in the system itself, and thus apply it to part or all of the mini-server fleets. The same applies to automated backups. With exosphere, you have the option to adjust which mini-servers will be automatically backed up and how frequently and when. That saves you a lot of manual work, which is always good, and it makes sure that these backups are happening in a safe way, in a secure way. There's no human error factors possible. So exosphere makes sure that the backups are made and that are archived, not just at any old hard disk that is liable to vanish. So if needed, you can use the exosphere portal to do ad hoc backups in order to be able to have a backup available if needed. You can download it from the portal and you can then play it back into the exosphere. Now, let me summarize. Through this project map, you can see immediately which mini-servers and which condition, in which state, where you need to act. By automated updates, your entire fleet is always up to date, and the backups are your assurance if there were any problems with the configuration. In exosphere, well, we want to save you a lot of work and to make the work processes more efficient. Still, there'll be plenty of work left for you and your team. So you need to organize this work in your team, of course, and we have installed a few features that make this a lot easier. Let's take a look at the document management. In the setup phase of a project, you can start using exosphere. You can have plans, drawings, and other important documents for a mini-server so that your entire team always has access to up-to-date information. But you can not only do this for documents and exchange information about documents within the team, but there's also the device journal that allows you to leave messages to your team colleagues and state exactly what happened, when, and why to a mini-server. And this gives you new opportunities for customer service. So you can answer your customer requests more quickly, and you ensure that you have good and satisfied customers. And if anything should go wrong, that any task is required, so the exosphere portal can be used if there's a message that a colleague left you, for example, you can assign it to a person and enter by what date it should be finished, and then already you distribute the work within the team. In these clear task boards, you can see who in your team has been assigned which tasks. You see exactly who is doing what and what projects have reached what degree of completion. So all things considered, you have a perfect overview of how your team is in terms of capacity utilization, and exosphere thus becomes your communications portal.
Over the last weeks and months, we had a very comprehensive beta program for exosphere, and 500 partners have taken part, and more than 1,500 mini servers were tried out with exosphere. And I would like to thank everyone who was a part of this and who helped improve exosphere. One of these partners is Marco Wengert, who has a lot of experience with exosphere already. Marco, please come on stage. Hi. You already used exosphere in the beta phase. How did you use it, and what is the added value of exosphere? Exactly. We tested the whole thing 6 months ago. We got some sneak peeks in college. I was highly interested in it because we are already working with a big CM system. In our team, we already assigned our tasks, and for the mini server emails, we introduced a separate email system. We took a look at problems, devices that went offline. We had many individual solutions, and with exosphere, we have had 550 mini servers that have been included in the platform, handed everything over to our software system. They were quite positively surprised. Also, when it comes to the possibility to give work instructions, to also show statistic on energy consumption, comparisons of energy consumptions, comparison of individual buildings, it's highly interesting, and I'm a true fan. And also for the future, I see a lot of possibilities for improvement. Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you once again for being a part of it in the beta phase. Marco mentioned it briefly in exosphere. We have a small third column that I would like to show to you. So if it's not about taking a look at the system only, but also the building. And for this, I would like to mention another use case, large-scale project, complex buildings. And the best example of this is the Loxone campus, where we are right now. There are more than 110 mini servers in these buildings, ensuring that the multifaceted functions of this building can be realized. We're talking about hotel, gastronomy, office, and also logistics functions. And of course, this also comes with a lot of requirements. For facility management and for the management, it's very important to always have an overview of the state of the condition of the building. And for this, the entire observe area was built up in the exosphere, giving you the possibility to use system data with real-time data. Dominik Schwarzenberger, the hotel director, has a perfect overview of the tasks that are required in individual buildings, for example, cleaning tasks in individual seminar rooms, coffee machines that have to be maintained. So, for example, where is the outer envelope of the building not perfectly closed? And our exosphere gives you a perfect overview. And of course, via the Loxone app, you can measure everything and you can also intervene. Also, Dominik Schwarzenberger's team, of course, has many possibilities when it comes to exosphere. The ladies at the reception desk can answer if the temperature in the sauna has been reached or whether charging at the wall box works out perfectly. Dashboards optimized in user groups give you the possibility to have a perfect overview. But there are not only large-scale buildings as this one, but there is also the following use case, smaller buildings, but many of these small buildings. And here we are talking about multiple global locations, and here it will be very important to compare locations. Energy optimization. We want to do comparisons between the locations. We want to identify benchmark locations in order to see which branches, which locations are very good when it comes to energy consumptions, and where is energy wasted. With exosphere, you have the possibility to collect these data in a comprehensive way, and with easy-to-use diagrams, you can prepare them on dashboards and you have a perfect overview. Here we can see, for example, the photovoltaic production at Spa locations in Austria. In the commercial environment, of course, it's not only important to have data always at our fingertips, but very often it's about the possibility to use data, sales data. If we want to connect them with building data, we have to get these data out of our system. With exosphere, for the first time, we have the possibility very easily to take all the data, to collect all the data produced by buildings, to export them and to have them in a data warehouse and to work with them in a data intelligence center. So with exosphere, your building becomes a system that supplies you with information as for business decisions. With exosphere, you get the possibility to take real-time data, to have a very good overview, to do comprehensive long-term comparisons, and target group specific. You can have the information on dashboards that is relevant for the individual user groups, and everything with full control by you, by the owners of the building. So the tried and tested authentication system of the mini server of the app has been taken over to exosphere so that you at 100% have control of the data that are being sent to the cloud. Only these data are sent out that you want to be sent out. Loxone remains independent. We have the highest standards here in order to ensure that your data is stored in a safe fashion. By way of summary, we can say that exosphere always comes into play when it's about the management of mini server fleets, when it's about you supporting you in your day-to-day work, when it comes to providing services for customer projects, small or big projects. You can ensure that mini servers are secured, that the data produced by buildings can be compared, and that they can be put to commercial use. Loxone exosphere, we offer it as a subscription model in 3 different variants. The first variant, the Essentials variant, is directed to you, the Loxone partners, who just want to have an overview of all their projects, of task assignment in the team. And then there is the Pro option. This is destined also to you, the Loxone partners, and gives you even more tools in order to provide services to your customers. For example, automated backups are an add-on in the Pro variant. So everywhere where we're talking about professional management of automated buildings, we recommend the Pro variant. And last but not least, there is the Enterprise option, giving you even more storage space and more storage duration for the building data and more control possibilities when it comes to accessing the data. These variants are completely free of charge for you as Loxone partners. For the Pro variant, we recommend for all your future projects, so we recommend to have a Pro license in order to provide better services to your customers and to have the peace of mind that automated backups can give you. Also, the Enterprise option will be very, very useful when it comes to calculation in large-scale projects. So I was very happy to be able to present to you Loxone exosphere, and thus I would like to hand back to Andi Hetzendorfer.
Danke, Markus.
Thank you, Markus. saving energy, buildings consume energy, branch operations, large-scale projects, buildings like this here, or smart homes, and many of these. So this is what we have already seen: large buildings, large objects, scaled in the Loxone fashion. Loxone does a lot of scaling, and so one solution has to be also scaled, which has been revolutionized 4 years ago and which will be put to a next level today. And I would like to ask on stage Johannes to present this revolution.
Ja, hallo und herzlich willkommen auch von meiner Seite hier am wunderschönen Loxone Campus.
To the wonderful Loxone Campus. Music. Music makes us go wow. For thousands of years, long before electricity was invented, musicians with their instruments made us go wow and put us in very different moods. Who of you remembers a record collection? And who of you wants to have a new record collection? Who of you remembers the first mixtapes that you exchanged in the schoolyard? Or who of you used the first pocket money in order to buy the first favorite album? Today, music has gone digital. Streaming services have revolutionized the music market. The entire spectrum of music is accessible at the click of a button, no matter if we're talking about well-known artists, newcomers. Music is just there. What I want to say by this: access to music has never been that easy as it is today, and we are firmly convinced that everyone deserves the great experience of excellent sound seamlessly integrated in each building. And I'm talking about buildings in which we live, work, and spend our leisure time. Because music plays an important role in the commercial area, just think about cafes, restaurants, shopping malls, or gyms. Because music motivates us and creates a certain feeling and also creates a certain atmosphere, a certain mood. I would claim that music in the commercial arena, or generally in every building, music is just as important as lighting. Just imagine that you are sitting in a restaurant over a nice dinner, over a nice glass of red wine, and just next to you there is a loudspeaker where you have low quality music. No dynamics, no bass, maybe much too loud, and the content that is played is maybe a radio show with ads, and it's just as disruptive as a glaring light above you. But in order to provide sound to bigger areas, in practice, very often it looks like this: big amplifiers using a lot of performance, a lot of energy. So you need additional switch cabinets, 90-inch racks, and very, very complex wiring. And these systems, they only play music, loud or not that loud. And that's about it. Let's take a look at the available technology in order to distribute audio signals. On the one hand, there is the classic passive loudspeaker technology. Everyone knows it: an amplifier, a loudspeakers, and we wire a loudspeaker cable. So far, so good. But in larger buildings where we need comprehensive provision of sound, this technology harbors some problems, because transmission takes place in an analog fashion, and this comes with certain losses. So longer wiring distances are not possible as a rule, and cabling is very, very sophisticated, because we need one individual cable for each loudspeaker, to which adds that a passive loudspeaker cable, of course, is very prone to electromagnetic interferences, so a lot of energy consumption with a wiring that is next to the loudspeaker technology, and this is very disruptive. Another point speaking against this technology is the topic of analysis. Just imagine a commercial area, a restaurant, 9, 12, 18, or even more loudspeakers, and so the plus and the minus pole were mixed up, which might happen. What is the impact? The sound worsens because the problem is there is a disruption in terms of the membrane when it comes to the creation of the sound, and this is a mistake which can hardly be analyzed or rectified. And what remains is bad sound. In order to bridge bigger wiring distances, many decades ago, the 100-volt technology was invented. So I have many engineers here in front of me. So if a signal is transformed to a higher voltage, so we can bridge higher wiring distances loss-free. We did this with audio technologies. The audio signal has been transformed to high voltage. So far, so good. But an audio signal is highly complex. There are many details, a lot of information that is unfortunately lost when transformed to a high voltage system. So this means no dynamics, bad sound quality, and it cannot be used for high quality sound systems, maybe for some language-based announcement. And then there is network technology. Via networks today, also audio signals can be transmitted, but here maybe the transmission is loss-free, but other topics come into play here, making everything much more complex. As a rule, we would have a dedicated network for the audio system. So this doesn't make wiring any easier. This network has to be administered. Smaller devices that cannot be perfectly administered in a network can lead to massive disruptions. Costs for this technology are very high, and most of the time, loudspeakers need their own electricity power supply. In 2020, the audio server was launched on the market by Loxone, the audio revolution for the building, the audio server, and the stereo extensions. They have eliminated many problems. Very compact system, highly efficient amplifier, no waste of performance, and it can be seamlessly integrated into building automation. So the audio server provided you with a tool in order to play more the music in a building, because the audio server doesn't only play music, it's also available for announcements, for example, also for alarms when there is a fire, and also creates the possibility to create automation. So automated systems, automated playing of music, or announcements in restaurants over dinner, and the content of the music can be adapted in an automated fashion. The audio server was developed for professional use, maintenance-free, safe operation, and the most important thing for you as Loxone partners, with the tool the Loxone config. So configuration is very easy. With the introduction of the mini server compact audio technology, also was introduced in the new system with a high turbo audio interface, and we are very proud to say that every second installation of Loxone worldwide, we have the audio technology of Loxone. In 2021, Quadral was part of the Loxone, a specialist for high-end audio technology with more than 50 years of experience in the area of loudspeaker construction, and awesome products were created. The install speaker, passive, 2 loudspeakers, perfect for installation in the wall, in the ceiling, in furniture, everywhere that you have space for such systems. The satellite speaker IP64 passive can also be used outdoors. or even for the commercial area. I can see this loudspeaker, for example, in DIY markets. And then we have our wall speaker for all use cases where you do not have an installation situation. The audio solution of Loxone combined with high quality quadral loudspeakers are the most powerful audio solution on the market for buildings. But as the name suggests, passive, it's still passive loudspeaker technology. I talked about the problems, cable distances, complex wiring, star-shaped, and so on and so forth. I'm very proud to be able to present to you the next level of the audio revolution, because today digitization is brought to the loudspeaker. I would like to present to you the new audio revolution, the master client technology, a loss-free transmission of the audio signal to the loudspeaker. 80% less wiring can be seamlessly integrated into home automation, the audio installation put to a new level. Let's take a look at the electronics side of things. Here, it's an active loudspeaker. So sound change is directly in the loudspeakers. The master loudspeakers are used with 24 volts DC and are connected to the mini server compact via the mini tree. And on top of that, directly at the loudspeaker, there is a DSP, a processor, ensuring the splitting of frequencies for deep and high frequencies. And in combination with the glass amplifier, this is a highly efficient system and saves a lot of energy. Just take a look of it. Here we have a reference project, the Mandarin Oriental in Prague. Here, conventional audio technology with the master client technology. Well, it was renewed by this master client technology, and more than 80% of power could be saved with better sound. Just fathom that. So the new master client loudspeakers have 2 times more RMS performance. There is one amplifier for tweeters and one especially for woofers, more power for your loudspeakers. So let's take a look at the system architecture. What about wiring? How should it be done? There is a master loudspeaker, which is being connected via the tree cable. At the master speaker, up to 20 clients can be connected. One client always plays the same audio content as the master loudspeaker, but in terms, it can be changed individually. Cabling happens in a daisy chain from loudspeaker to loudspeaker. Each client has an input and an output. The cable distance can be up to 30 meters. Let's take a look at the cabling of the master loudspeaker. Up to 10 master systems can be connected to the tree turbo interface in the usual topologies, star, line, or tree, and overall 150 meters can be bridged. That is already mentioned. For every master speaker, more than 20 clients can be connected. If you did the math, 210 speaker per interface. And if you need more loudspeakers in the system, no problem at all. So several audio servers, several mini servers compact can be jointly cooperate in one system. Let's take a look at a floor plan, so to speak. This is an office with an entrance area, an open plan office with 5 individual meeting rooms. So in the entrance area, there is a master with a client. In the open plan area, there is a master with the respective clients. And also the separated office areas have their own dedicated master. Why? Because here we have the possibility to have individual audio contents in the individual rooms. And of course, as we know from Loxone, all the loudspeakers can be combined as desired. Also a group can be formed, for example. How could this look like in a restaurant, for example? Here we have a restaurant area, a dining area, a bar area, a lounge, and we have 2 ancillary rooms and restrooms, and this would be equipped with 3 master speakers, 1 speaker for the dining area, or 1 master speaker for the ancillary rooms, and 1 master speakers for the restrooms, because in these 3 areas, later on, individual audio contents are to be played. But as for the bar area with the 4 loudspeakers, well, I want to have another sound level, and maybe the launch here, music should be a little bit, should not be that loud with the config. So we can use our own loudspeakers, and so they can be adjusted with their own sound level. Also in the area of the restrooms, there is also a loudspeaker, and of course, this can be controlled individually. As we can see very nicely here, when we take a look at the cabling, so a lot of cables can be saved. If we take a look at the Loxone area, 8,000 square meters, so we would have had 1 cable for every loudspeakers. And this would mean that 1,370 meters of cable would have to be leased. When we compare to the new master client technology, here we have only 300 meters of cables. More than 80% less wiring is required and can be saved. So the master client technology has another feature for you. Every master speaker is a Bluetooth receiver. Bluetooth is so important for persons that are in a building that are not familiar with the system, that do not have a Loxone app, that are maybe not in the same network, because we might be in a hotel, for example. These persons, starting from now, with their own end device via Bluetooth, they can stream their own audio contents. The Bluetooth pairing with the aid of Loxone config can be connected to a certain logic. So it could be thinkable to have a configuration with a Bluetooth icon. You go to the hotel room and start the pairing, and the guest can connect to the loudspeaker in their room, play the music, and once they leave the room, then the pairing is being deactivated again. We heard a lot about the system architecture, electronics, and wiring, but at the end of the day, the good sound has to come from the loudspeaker. So please give it up for my colleague, Sascha Reckert, who was mainly responsible for the development of the loudspeakers.
Vielen Dank, Johannes.
Thank you, Johannes. Well, the previous speaker spoke a lot about digital technology. We have digital technology throughout, and also audio technology has now been fully digitized. There's a problem, our ears are not digital. So we have to become more analogous, because our ears receive sound waves, physical vibration. So in every audio transmission chain, at the end, we need an analogous device to convert the sound. This is where we come in. We have 50 years of experience with analogous audio rendering. And this high quality speaker technology has been embedded here in Loxone. There are some specificities of our system, and to represent this, I would like to explain two technologies in particular. On the one hand, we have the coaxial system for our loudspeakers. This coaxial system is used by many different OEMs, but they are not consistently implementing it as we are. High tones, normally there's a two-way system, so high tones are before the low tone membrane. So the high and low tone membranes do not emit the sound at the same time. So the signal arrives at the ear in a sequenced way, first the high, then the low tones. And the sound coming from the high tone membrane is well, depending on where you are located with respect to the speaker, you have a different sound. So this gives you a very unequal sound distribution in the room. We from Quadral tackled this in a very consistent way. So the place where the sound originates is exactly the same for the high and the low tones. So the benefit is no matter where you're in the room, you always have the same sound. The dynamic is much better because you have a more coherent sound signal. So the high and the low tones are played at the same time, not one after the other. So you hear more details, you can listen in a more relaxed way, and you have a much better quality overall. In the market, you will find very, very few speakers with these design features, and you will have to spend a lot more money for these devices, I can tell you that. The second topic I would like to present to you, which is also unique for us, is our single frame construction. What this means is that normally these installed speakers are designed where you have a low tone, a high tone speaker, and then you build a frame around it to be able to mount it. We do this differently in a cleverer way. The low and the high tone speaker are embedded directly in one frame. This gives us a lot more space for the acoustics. Normally, there are two standard sizes. That's a 6.5 inch and the 8 inch. For the 6.5 inch speakers, we are talking about a size which is a historical size. That's based on the basket's dimensions, but the membrane is more important. So 6.5 inch and 7 inch sounds like not a big difference, but it's about the surface. A 6 inch membrane has about 120 to 130 square centimeters membrane surface. The Quadral Loxone speaker with its 7 inch has about 180 square centimeters. So we have almost 50% more membrane surface in the low tone speakers than our competitors. And we are not 1 centimeter bigger than they are. So we have exactly the same internal and external dimensions and a lot more power in the speaker. Conversely, this means that with half the power, you can produce the same volume, because we know that this power costs a lot of money, and we can save 50% of the power with the same size. These are two eminent features of the Loxone Quadral speakers. But of course, we are offering a lot more. As we've heard from Johannes, we have fully active speakers with the new master client technology. In terms of sound, that's a huge benefit because with the digital technology, the frequency ranges can be much better distributed for the high and the low tone speakers. So we have a lot more power. Let's do the numbers. We have about 60 watt at the loudspeaker. Our competitors with their passive speakers and the long cables they need to operate need up to 4 times the power. And for these speakers, we're talking about 120 to 200 watt. And this wattage needs to be made available in large installation. Well, that's not so easy. We don't need this because the amps are directly located near the speaker, and our speakers are so incredibly effective. And we from Quadral, due to our history, we also stand for acoustic quality. And of course, we feel obliged to produce top sound quality. So we have high quality material. For install 10, for example, we use titanium for the high tone membrane, and for the low tone membrane, we use an alloy of aluminum, magnesium, and titanium. It's extremely compact. Even the 10-inch speaker is as big as an 8-inch speaker, but has 50% more membrane surface and thus more power. But the best thing about this, the whole thing also has an unbeatable price. And my colleague Johannes is going to tell you more about this in a minute. Thank you. Thank you very much for this speaker configuration. So the Quadral speakers, if you have not heard them before, please do so now. In the Loxone campus, you will find numerous of those loudspeakers with their tweeters and woofers. Now, I'm very proud to be able to introduce a new development. One thing was the technology, but now we have a brand new product. The stage is open for the brand new audio product. The new Install Sub 10, also with the master client technology, a subwoofer that really changes the sound in the room. Because if you have a subwoofer in the setup that already sounds good, the dynamic becomes even clearer, a powerful bass and a more precise sound. A subwoofer in the system is, well, it's quite easy. You don't need to have any frequency barriers, whatever. There's a very intelligent smart system. The mini server or the audio server knows what kind of speakers you currently have in the system, be it a 10-inch, 7-inch, or satellite speaker. As soon as a subwoofer is added to a system, the DSP settings are automatically adjusted to allow for perfect sound to be distributed to your room. The subwoofer also releases the strain on the other loudspeakers. So the other speakers no longer need to worry about the lower frequencies. This is handled by the new subwoofer. Right. The new subwoofer can be installed wherever you want to, in the ceiling, with the casing, or in furnitures, or in a kitchen maybe. So just allow for the volume that is needed by the subwoofer, and already immediately you can enjoy the perfect sound. Then there's the casing, which is available as an option. So the master client technology 80% less cabling, 80% energy savings compared to conventional systems, twice as much RSM power at the speaker. You can use Bluetooth for transmission. We have a 7 and 10 inch master client satellite speakers and the new subwoofers, high-class DSP, signal separation, and Class D amplifiers. Now the prices. The new install speaker 7 master is available as of 299 euros, and the pertaining client for 249 euros, and available now. The big brother, the install speaker 10 master, is available for only 449 euros, and the client for 369 euros, and it's also available starting now. The satellite speaker EP64 master is available for only 329 euros, and the corresponding client at 279 euros, available now. And the new star in the audio lineup, the subwoofer, the install sub 10 master, is available at 449 euros, and the corresponding client is available at 369 euros, and both are available right now as well. In future, the audio installations in complex buildings will hopefully no longer look like this, but with the new master client technology that simplifies the installation, makes it smarter, and allows for good sound. But there's one more thing. We talked about the technology, the hardware, and the software in order to make sure that buildings such as this one can be provided with the right sound. Also, the content that is played is decisive. This is why I'm pleased to present the cooperation with SoundSuite. SoundSuite is a streaming service for commercial applications, because private streaming services such as Spotify and Co. cannot be legally played in commercial applications. So SoundSuite stands for fair and legal streaming in commercial applications. Now I'd like to say goodbye to you. Thank you for your attention. I would like to hand over to the Managing Director of SoundSuite, Michael Bourdon. Hello. Thank you for the intro, Johannes. I may say bonjour. Let me start with a question, if I may. How many of you knew that music services such as Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer are not legal to be used commercially? Well, raise your hand if you knew this. Okay, great. So you're well informed. I'm very pleased about this. Congratulations. Unfortunately, a lot of our customers and a lot of your customers are not aware of that. They didn't know that. So it is a great pleasure for me to be able to announce the new cooperation between Loxone and SoundSuite. Starting now, your customers, small as well as big customers, can be benefiting from this very professional solution. SoundSuite can be seamlessly integrated in the Loxone system. This combined solution of Loxone plus SoundSuite is legal for commercial use, which is important, so check mark. It's curated, which means that your customers are getting the same cool music as these are well-known brands that you see here. And it's centrally controlled. For example, a head of marketing is sitting in his office in Berlin, and all the hotels in the world can receive this music from there. So it can all be controlled centrally. So I'll stop at this point for now. I will be available during the whole day at the audio stand in the lobby. So I'm looking forward to your visit at this booth, and I would like to answer any questions you may have. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Let us summarize. The master client technology, 84% less energy consumption, 80% less cabling, and with a better sound than what you normally know in the market today. So I tested the sound, and I can tell you the sound is absolutely huge. So try it out, recommend it to your customers. You're going to really have a lot of joy with that. Bluetooth is also available, and Loxone, we heard, is 85% software. If a hotel guest checks out of a hotel, they're automatically removed from Bluetooth pairing, and they can't play the music next time they visit. So the only Bluetooth speaker in the world where you can remove a cell phone automatically. Otherwise, this is not possible. And then there's a subwoofer. You see our powerful software of Loxone. So if you connect a subwoofer with an audio player, automatically the frequency will change and all the bass will go to the subwoofer, and the normal speakers play the high sounds, the tweeters. So we already have had a dedicated software product, and now it will go to the heartpiece, Lukas Eigelsberger, our mastermind of Loxone config, and Lukas, 85% software. This is your stage. Thank you, Andy. I'm very pleased that I can also offer a new version of Loxone config mini server and audio server. Release 15, it's the 15th year of Loxone, and US partners can be pleased not only about new products, but also a lot of enhancements. Let's start with lighting. Lighting control is one of the most important topics, and Loxone clearly offers the best solution. There's a number, with a large number of interfaces, you can control all the lamps, 0 to 10 volt, a lot more, and lamps and luminaires. The software with its huge functional scope, well, there's daylight, constant light, a lot of different options, and all of it can be simply operated via the app. And there's more, namely with DALI 2. Our DALI extension is now certified, so presence sensors, brightness sensors can all be integrated. It's widespread in commercial buildings, and this is where it is often used, and our extension is now ready for that. The certified extension will start shortly. Access control is one of our most important pillars. The NFC code touch is really important. Every door and every portal can be opened. Hotel doors, garage doors, lift doors, but also special applications such as wallbox invoices can be done with that software. Our access authorization system is very simple. Very complicated hierarchies can be simply shown. by trust, we can have good access. With my NFC tag, I can get access to all global Loxone subsidiaries. We have different settings, such as NFC, code, two-factor. So this is not static. It can be provided by the logic. So, for example, you can define that during office hours, you have access with the NFC tag, but outside of office hours, you need an additional code for enhanced security in the building. We have release 15. Release 15 was also enhanced as the wallbox component, which is used to charge electric vehicles at low cost with excess production of PV energy, or when the electricity is really cheap. And there's also an invoicing system where the prices were static for different modes of charging, and dynamic power prices could not be shown. But now there's a new input, one for each charging modus, where the price can be set. So you can simply use the spot price optimizer. It provides you with the current price, and the wallbox manager can then use it in order to generate the actual costs. If you use several wallboxes, like here in the campus, and you use the wallbox manager, it ensures that the energy is efficiently distributed. And it also makes sure that the electrical system does not go into overcharge mode. The distribution of this energy was now further improved. Wallbox that no longer needs any energy because the vehicle is already fully charged, for example, will now release this energy, and the energy can be used for charging by other wallboxes. This is to make sure that no energy is wasted and everything is optimally used. The energy flow monitor is used in order to direct the energy flows in the building and to visualize those flows. You see at a glance in the app where energy is currently being consumed in the building. But after measuring and visualization, it is also important to take action for energy management, for example. This has now been simplified. The energy flow monitor is integrated in the automatic design. Now with the app, you can define a rule, for example, if the PV production exceeds a certain value, a certain task can be carried out automatically. Thus, you can, from the comfort of your couch, control the entire system. The auto configuration was created for our partners. With a few mouse clicks, you can configure the entire project, the shading, lighting, or the alarm system. Everything can be configured in a few seconds only. And now the energy flow monitor. Components such as meters are added, pre-configured, and already have a basic configuration that you can build on. Today, we introduced our new master client technology, but in release 15, we also improved the diagnosis and the audio features. For the traceability, we already created the component modules for intelligent room control, lighting control, and an automatic louver adjustment. We know why the light is, for example, on or off, or why is the shading provided. Why is there music? Why is there no music? Or who changed the sound source? So you can all see all of that in the app. Another feature that was still missing was the health check, our tool to check the installation and the cabling for correct functioning. It's available for Tree Air Link and on the mini server. And now the audio server will check the network configuration, the reachability of other audio servers in the installation, and also the function of its devices. Thus, you always get a good overview of the status of a system. My colleague Marcus already introduced Exosphere today, our new innovative application to control mini-server fleets, task management, and many other things. But Exosphere was also integrated directly in config that allows you to work even better with your colleagues. Mini-server access data can not only be stored locally, but also directly in the Exosphere workspace. The data is locally encrypted and transferred to Exosphere, and from there, everybody with access to this workspace has access to this data and can use it directly in Loxone config. But apart from access data, entire projects can be stored. In order to share a project with my colleagues, I no longer need to send them a mail or give them a flash drive. No, I can directly store it in Exosphere, and everybody who has access to this workspace will have access to this project and can always open the latest version of this project in Loxone. So this contains not only the products, but also enhancements, the Exosphere integration, DALI, and a lot more. So this has just been a small excerpt. I'd like to wish you a lot of fun with that, because this release is available for download right now. Thank you very much. And now I'd like to hand over to my colleague, Jakob. Well, we already heard about the keyword, the app, repeatedly today. So you can tell that here in the Loxone app, a lot of different things converge, and how important it is to have an app that works well. Today, I would like to offer you some insights and outlooks in the app development at Loxone. Some of you may know that already in 2010, we started did the go live with our iOS app. We were globally the first building automation app back then. Now, to put things in the right perspective, you need to know that the Apple App Store itself only went live in July of 2008. So that was a huge innovation back then. As you can see behind me, for those who did not have the first generation iPhone back then, we even had a text-based application. After the iOS app, there followed other platforms very quickly, such as Android, Windows, and macOS. And in 2022, we had more than 1 million users, and now we have more than 1.2 million users worldwide. But talking about the Loxone app itself, we are not only talking about one app, we are talking about 80 different functions, 80 different apps, access, audio, energy, lighting, shading. Our Loxone app bundles a lot of different functions in a single app. This offers a huge benefit for all our users and for yourself as well. And I'm very pleased to be able to introduce the new Loxone app today.
This new app does not only constitute an update of our existing app, it's a completely new technology, a completely new milestone in app development. In this endeavor at Loxone, 3 things were especially important: perfect user experience, a great performance, and of course, sustainability and future viability. And here it is also very important to know this app doesn't only mean that this is an improvement of the old app, it's an investment in a totally new technology that in future will give you and us many new opportunities. Here behind me, you can guess that in this endeavor, many existing functions and function blocks have been totally thought anew, especially in the area of light control, audio. User experience could be improved by a large margin and thus reaching more efficient, faster, and more comfortable use of the Loxone app. And we are totally looking forward to being able to share this brand new app with you very soon. And although this app is a total powerhouse in terms of the functions, this app, as we already know it from Loxone, will be provided free of charge to all Loxone users worldwide. And in closing, I would like to ask Rüdiger back on stage. Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Jakob. What am I to say now? So this was a true power show, a power show that we could experience together when it comes to innovative products, new features. And we provided a very, very concise summary. Energy management has been resounding throughout the land. We heard about the impressive values. We heard about the new energy meter that will make everything much easier. We talked about the master client systems in the audio world, and this will take the sound experience in buildings to a new level. We experienced the exosphere, which has been put to a new level, all mini servers rolled into one, a global and efficiently administered mini server fleet. And on top of that, we talked about DALI 2. Lighting is a very important factor in each building. With DALI 2, we developed another very good interface with config 15 in the 15th year already. We reached a new level of configuration power with which all of your projects can be represented in a much more powerful way. And also we saw a preview of the new app that will have 1.2 million users who are not only users but proud owners of Loxone applications. And this is always the calling card of Loxone, and our end users will be truly proud of it. All this taken together again shows that we provide a one-stop shop in terms of building automation, and all the areas that we have shown show that from access all the way to safety and security, we provide a one-stop shop in the area of smart homes, but also in the commercial arena, in commercial applications. What we have shown today is the key that we need in order to serve all branches and operations with a perfect and powerful tool. As has already been mentioned, we are constantly banking on a combination of software and hardware, 85% software, and also in terms of the spirit of fairness that we operate in, you only pay 15% of the entire power that we have in terms of building automation. In other words, what has been started with the mini server 15 years ago has led to a situation where we have more than 300 products today, where we have an app which is 80 in one, 80 functions rolled into one app, and more than 300 function blocks. And for all these function blocks, there is one powerful development behind it. So this means that programmers will develop and represent functions for you that will be provided to you free of charge. What is our core statement that we have been pursuing intensively? What is important here is that you, our partners, are key, surrounded by outstanding products, of course, but the focus today for me is on the topic of our mission. We give a promise to make the lives of everyone installing the systems, planning the systems, and using the systems easier, making lives easier in building automation. And if we say easier, then this is a promise that we feel obligated to. So building automation will never be easy. Of course, you all need a top training, top education in order to live up to mounting requirements. But our promise is that for all this complexity, we want to provide systems that are as easy as possible. So I just want to shed light on marketing very briefly. In order to make sales processes easier for you, we dreamt up the Digital Experience Tour, which is a tool where all the partners using it say that in sales conversations alone, the topic of building automation will be shed light on, and we tried to come up with ways and means to make the sales process, this explanation, much more compact. So if you have 10 end customers, then up to now, with a lot of explanation, it was possible to conclude the sales process. And with the digital tour, we 9 out of 10 partners. And this is a true improvement when compared to conventional catalogs and points of sales and so on.
Martin und Tom haben vor 15 Jahren den Grundstein gelegt. Ohne den beiden würden wir heute hier nicht stehen. Wir sind überzeugt, ohne die beiden würden Gebäude bei Weitem nicht so intelligent und effizient arbeiten, als das heute der Fall ist. Und vor allem die beiden sind ja nicht nur mit der Gründeridee und als Haupteigentümer tätig, sondern sie arbeiten nach wie vor extrem strategisch am Unternehmen. Tom als Mastermind für alle unsere Produkte, auch die wir heute wieder gesehen haben.
Tom is the
ob das
mastermind
die
for all
Anwendungen
our
sind, die
products, be it
Software, ob
the
das die Hardware der
applications,
Produkte ist.
software,
Tom steht hinter
hardware
all
of the
diesen
products,
Produkten mit
and
seinen
Tom
Ideen
stands
und
behind all these
unterstützt
products
hier
with his ideas
ganz maßgeblich
and
Andreas
lends
Hetzendorfer, unser
support
gesamtes
to
mächtiges
Mr.
Entwicklerteam. Dafür
Hetzendorfer and
vielen
his
herzlichen Dank,
developer
Tom.
team. Thank you very much for this, Tom.
Martin, neben vielen
Martin
anderen Tätigkeiten, schafft so wunderbare Gebäude,
creates wonderful buildings such as this one, in which we can celebrate, but also in all the other local locations filled with life by way of Loxone architecture with a lot of love for detail. And you are going to experience this afternoon in the framework of guided tours. We have so many functionalities here in the building, and to represent everything in project management, this is one of the core competences of Martin. Thank you very much for that. Thank you so much. So there was a little technical glitch. I would like to thank all Loxonauts, and I would like to ask two gentlemen on stage, Milan Randl and Manuel Nada. Milan and Manuel, these two gentlemen have been with Loxone forever. They have been part of the founding team. Manuel is responsible for the German-speaking area, for winning over new partners on an ongoing basis. He's responsible for best service in industry and for lending a helping hand to all our partners. He's also responsible for trainings in order to keep you abreast of developments in building automation. Manuel, you have the floor. But the German-speaking area, by way of explanation, so German-speaking countries, which is our most important business arena. And of course, our international market is growing very strongly. It's very important. Milan started with the Czech Republic, and now he has developed the entire eastern area very successfully, and he has been responsible for our international markets, where we feature strong growth and are driving globalization. Milan, this is your applause. Thank you, gentlemen. So this event here was supported, massively supported by the highly committed marketing team. I would like to ask Lorian from the marketing team to come on stage. So one of the first employees who has been a dedicated Loxonaut and who has worked on everything behind the scenes that we could present today with a lot of attention to detail. Thank you very much to you, to your team, and to all Loxonauts that work for us globally. So these are 350 employees in building automation. Overall, the entire Loxone group has more than 1,000 employees. Thank you. What would Loxone be without our partners? Without our partners, we would have awesome products, great software, but it wouldn't help us a lot if we cannot put the show on the road. And this is why we have to thank all our partners most cordially. 28,000 globally. Thank you very much for your support and for the cooperation. And I would like to say goodbye to all international viewers, to all who have joined us live in our branches, in our locations, and to the thousands of partners who have followed this event live and our product innovations. Thank you very much. Servus, as we say in Austria. Goodbye. And very briefly, I would like to talk about the further course of the events. We have given a promise. The products that have presented today with a value of 1,000 euros for the package that you have booked. So these are the two energy meters, the powerful install speaker 10 master, and the two packages with which we want to conquer the world with exosphere. So this will all be sent to you over the next days. And we wish you lots of fun filling these products with life. And I hope that you will feel the same enthusiasm that we felt when we did the first tests. So some housekeeping remarks. I want to give you a brief overview. We prepared 7 blocks for you, where we will provide you with more in-depth knowledge, 7